I guess. But the arts, really, the arts are our key. Once we have the ascended body, once our mind is expanded, once we're at peace with the world, what do? What are we here for? We're here to create. We're here to create the unknown. And this is where our greatest human potential lies, in our creative expression. And someone like Joan is a channel for the divine energies. And this phase of her work is about bringing in archetypes and messengers to help us become aware of who we really are, to activate the higher centers in the brain, to pull these archetypal forms into our body and become the great gods that we know we are. So let's give Joan a big hand for her hard work and dedication.
Woo! Oh, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. All right, I really appreciate that. So you might ask, well, why does Joan of Angels need to be introduced by someone else, right? Well, if you were Joan of Angels and you woke up and someone named you Joan of Angels and you really got it, and then you had to learn to come out and talk about it and present it to the world, you too would say, hey, introduce me, it makes it easier, right? Because, you know, imagine going home to your family and say, well, my new name is Joan of Angels. So much better he introduced me. So I want to tell everyone, number one, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that each and every one of you is here. And I want to thank you, your physical, your 3D body, for being here. And more important, your 3D body for carrying this ascension spirit, this soul-activated spirit that is carrying with you, not just you, but all the realms and the ancient ones that come with you. Your divine spiritual team that is here to counsel you through thick and thin, no matter what. You know, we can't chase them away. And then we have our angels, and we have our guides, and we have our departed loved ones, and we have the star beings that we are part of, and we have our whole history of when we were part of the godlike beings that came from somewhere else to come here. And so we have all of those communities that are cheering us on right now. I don't know if you can feel that. Raise your hand if you can feel them with us here in this room. Because Neil, Soul, when they put this together and they said Ascension Conference, portal to ascension, the angels, they put out a call for you to hear, to bring you here, so that your guides can connect to my guides, that my guides can connect to Source and yours and your team. And so I want you to understand that we are not however many bodies we are. Think that if each of us carried 1 million souls, 1 million beings with us, 1 million contacts to the divine, we are that powerful. And we now live in the times when we have been called. And so when a call for ascension has come, you and your team woke you up to be here. Do you understand that? Do you really understand that? Okay, so my name is Joan of Angels. I always thought I was Joan of Arc from the time I was first born. I read 2 biographies growing up. Joan of Arc and Annie Oakley, okay? Annie Oakley, because she was a hero, right? Annie, get your guns. And she was a spiritual warrior and up for her principles, okay? So now, fast forward, I knew who I was from birth. But like so many of us, I took on a human body. And so I was afraid to go out and say, well, I'm like Annie Oakley, I'm like Joan of Arc, you know, because they give you that kind of eye and that kind of look. So what do creatures like us who know we come from somewhere else and have a vision that we're someone else? How many of you have ever had a vision that you might have been connected to a divine being? Raise your hand if you feel you have. And what about How many of you feel like you come from somewhere else? I can't be the only one in this room that thinks that they put me down on this planet, a planet I can't even breathe the air anymore, right? Are you kidding? A planet that they deliberately pollute the water? I live there where they pollute the food. I can hardly believe, because I know where I came from, they don't do that. Where I come from, beings like us create, like the highest beings are the teachers. You can't be a teacher unless you've been so many cycles of wisdom coming through you. I want you to know that what you suspect is true is true. In other words, if you suspect you are a power, I need water, sweetheart, from somewhere, divine water, okay? But if you suspect that you are greater than this 3D being that you are, I love this man, he's guided me already. Water from heaven. Actually, water purified by each of your intentions for love. So, water purified by each of you knowing who you are, by each of you beginning this process of remembering that you're not here by accident. Number one, you're not in this room by accident. You were called by my guides and Neil's guides and your guides, because they said it's time for you to take yourself to the next level. All of us, because the highest of beings on this planet still has to deal with the lowest to help bring it up. And so we need every light worker on board. We need every angel being on board. So, open streets, open my heart. Okay, so you know why you're here, right? You're here to open your heart. You're here to remember who you are. You're here to empower yourself to take you to the next level. Well, what's wrong with the level you're at? I met a beautiful soul the other day. He said, well, I'm activated. I had my spiritual awakening a few years ago. It's like, a few years ago? Well, what have you been doing ever since? You know, because it's a moment-by-moment process of being in that moment. So for example, this morning, woke up, I said, gosh, I should have brought my computer. I need my presentation. Oh my God, what am I thinking? My guides go, Joan, what are you thinking? You don't need your presentation. You're going to take them directly into the portal. So sometimes we don't even know what Spirit wants us to be, but we have to learn to go with the flow. So we're all here in this room gathering so we can start to remember who we are, and we can start to let go of all that it is that starts to stand in our way of using those special gifts that each and every one of you has that's uniquely yours. I can't do what you do, or you, and none of you could do Joan of Angels like Joan of Angels, okay? Because I have a hard time doing it sometimes. And you have a hard time doing you. Because why? Because we come from up here, we remember certain things, but the 3D planet doesn't necessarily suit in the same way. Some of us say we're high dimensional beings, but our partner's a 3D slob, okay? Or we have to go to 3-dimensional jobs where they treat us like, you know, differently than we know we are. Well, that's part of our lesson, is how do we navigate as a higher dimensional being in our physical body? Because that is how we begin to learn to create miracles in our life. We learn to activate. We learn to master and use the special gifts that we've been given to do our work this lifetime. Because if you do what you came here to do, and you do, and you do, and everyone in this room does it, then we get a chance to turn around and share it with our whole circle. And remember, they all have their guides and angels, so now we're dealing huge. They share it, and before you know it, we have started to really raise this frequency. Now, why is that important? What in the world is frequency? Frequency handles everything. How many of you have seen the TV show The Right Place? Anyone here? Okay, you got to see it. It is hysterical. A woman wakes up and she discovers, oh, she's at the good place. The good place. She's in the good place. I think it's the right, I don't know. Wakes up in the good place, and she realizes she doesn't belong there because she wasn't good. Now, there's either the good place or the one that you don't ever want to be at, okay? They make it look nasty. And the whole beginning, at least parts I've watched, are all about her getting coached to become good enough to be in the good place. Well, in a sense, that's us. How do we learn to hear the voice of Spirit, to be the person we're meant to be, to share our gifts so we can actually lift back up to where we came from? So before I began this morning, they showed me a whole new picture, my guides. They said, what if we could all imagine together that we're in heaven, okay? That we're here on the very top, okay? You can do this with me? We're here at the very top for a change. Now, how many of you actually think of yourself on top, right? Aren't we usually down here, right? We're usually down here, and we go, okay, I got to let go of all my baggage so I can start to move here and move here and move here. All right, well, I have news for you. This morning they showed me there's a faster way. I thought that was pretty incredible. They said, what if we all sat up here together and imagined we were like up in Olympus, okay? We were part of the divine beings that actually came down here to the planet. And we're up here, and we are looking down there. Can you do that with me? Now, don't things on planet Earth look a lot different when you're up here? Yeah. Okay, now, remember, when we're here, we have a lot of work to do to remember even where this is, right? Heaven's pretty far away, that good place. However, when we're up here, whew, it all makes sense. Everything down there makes sense. From the pollution, from the political conflicts, from the human conflicts, from all of it. And what you begin to realize, because you could see energy from up here, so you start to look for the places where there's a beam of light, right? A beam of light. Because that beam of light, if we carefully work with it, can become like a beacon of light, a pool of light, you know, and a whole light show, okay? And that means thousands and thousands of souls start to get lifted. So in a sense, ascension is our ability to walk the path and do the hard work. But it's also our ability, just like in the movie The Matrix, to see ourselves up here and looking down. And it gives you a different perspective. So what if you came here to be one of those beacons of light? And you're here over here, and you don't remember. But the process of awakening is that we do start to remember. Each of you that walked in this room was drawn here, even if you came kicking or screaming because a spouse asked you to, you were brought here for a little activation seed. And the activation seed brings us from here to here. And why don't we automatically remember up there? Because we have to learn to master our emotions. Our fear. What's our fear? Our fear that we would actually be as great, be that person that once we actually had a fantasy or a vision that we could be. You remember that? That vision, you know, like when I grew up, I want to be a fireman. There was a Cheerios commercial, you know. When I grow up, I want to be a fireman. Everyone knows they eat Cheerios. I used to sing that all the time. You know, I used to sing it because it gave me a vision. And it gave me an idea I could be something when I grow up. So who were my role models? Joan of Arc. Well, what the heck happened to Joan of Arc? She didn't die a good death, okay, but she lived an amazing life. And I wanted to be like her. She was my role model. You know, how could I help people, to have a dream? And why was she my role model? Because she had a dream. And she had a vision. And heard that vision so clearly that she was able to go to a prince or a king and say, who tried to fool her, by the way, and she found the right king, and she was able to say, look, Spirit is on your side, and this is how we can take back France. She was a little 14-year-old girl, a peasant. So dreams, visions can happen. And so when I moved to the desert and I was called to the desert to paint portals, I introduced myself to this woman, and she says, oh, I know who you are. And she went into this vision. This was day 2, the desert. She says, you're Joan of, and I swear I thought she was going to say Ark, and I was like, oh my God, no. And she said, Angels. And so from that moment on, I got this picture that someone physically in the 3D world could kind of see the spirit that I was carrying. Why? Because I was learning to body, spirit, and mind alignment. So this beam of light that we could see, if we as the humans can start to raise our frequency and body, mind, and spirit align with this consciousness of being a beam of light, so that we could expand, touch, raise the frequency, those dark portals close. More and more people get raising to the higher frequencies. And as we raise, the lowest parts raise. So the way around war, the way around the destruction, is for us who know this truth to raise our vibration as high as we can and do what we came here to do without fear, to do it. And when? Now. Why? Because now happens to be when they need it down there on planet Earth. If you could see with these eyes down there, that is a mess. Thank you, God, for helping bring each of us to know we're supposed to help it, right? But when you're in that mess, you're part of the mess. Sometimes hard to see, right, from out here. So I'm reminding you today, part of my work, I'm a reminder, I'm an activator, and I'm a wing fluffer. So today I'm going to actually teach you how to fluff your wings so that you can become of this movement of light angelic beings being part of the solution. What do you think? Would you like to be part of the solution? Because the solution is not going to be solved by any other way. No other way. You know, I've had the most remarkable experiences that what I like about the right place is that when she thinks bad thoughts, they happen, okay? And so it's about intention and manifesting. So I'm learning that when I manifest my positive intentions, they happen almost immediately. And then, of course, I realized that for all that other time, I was manifesting pretty darn quickly the negative ones subconsciously, right? You must do that. Positive thinking is kind of like going into a restaurant and ordering eggs, okay? Eggs with toast. Now, if you go in the restaurant, you say, hey, lady, I want, please, eggs and toast. You expect it the way you ordered it, eggs and toast. Now, with our thoughts, that's the same thing. We go out and we say, okay, I want to manifest a lot of money, and I can't even pay my rent. So I'm really worried. I'm worried. So you've just put in an order for maybe bacon and eggs and toast, okay? You didn't put in what you thought. You didn't order eggs and toast. And so you get back this state of being in anxiety, this state of waiting, this state of it's not happening. So we have to clear our field. So we start to put out the intentions of what we want. What do we want? We want to be able to walk through the portals and start to be able to come from a place of remembering. When we remember, it's so much easier to find ourselves able to let go of everything we don't need. Then it's a flash in the pan instead of dragging it with us. Behind me, you'll see these angel portals. I was told that my job was to help you get to the doorway, to the beginning of those realms. That's ascension processes. That when you start to learn how to let go of what doesn't serve you, and you start to learn how to align your body, mind, and spirit, okay? And you drop that luggage because you cannot get to heaven with luggage. It doesn't work, okay? It's too heavy. I don't care how much you lighten it. Really, you got to have it empty. You can't have anything, okay? It's just you. It's not your husband, your mother, your daughter who goes with you, holds your hand and says, well, she was a good person. It's you. It's what we say, who we are, and how we do it. So they told me that I was to help people of high vibration already, people who are called, people who hear this already are ready to open at activation points. What is my job? To help you remember, to help you let go of what doesn't serve you, fear, dogma, relationships, negativity, lack of love for your own self, to help you let go of those things. Why? So that you can start to master who you are, like mastering Joan of Angels. It's not, somehow we have to learn, in a sense, to be this aligned being that can, on the spirit level, be represented through our physical. So my guides, the last time I lost everything, and I've lost everything twice, not easy, they said to me, well, Joan, you're going to lose everything this time, and you will never get it back until you're 100% aligned. Not 99%, you know. They said you cannot, like, fudge it. 100% aligned. And so that's what I've learned to even teach. So it teaches me how to get there, how we do this. So we can do this. Why? So that we can remember and be who we came here to be. Why? Because if you're who you, these two found me in the elevator or in the hallway and led me here. I was running around the hotel circles. And we came together for that very sweet reason. He was my guide. We meet each other for a reason and for a purpose. All right. Now, they told me I'm to lead you up here. What you do when you get up there is none of my concern. Okay? However, many of you I'll get to meet on the other side. So in 2013, I was told to paint 33 angels in 30 days. I was really surprised, okay? I didn't think that was my purpose. I thought my purpose was to heal and inspire the world and just look pretty and be smart, you know, and be an oracle. And they said, paint 33 angels in 30 days. So I did. When I finished, I discovered I had created a portal. And the angels started to come through. And they said, your job's to raise their vibration. So who wants to do it? Okay, good. We're going to do a process called wing fluffing. I don't do it so much anymore, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. So put everything down on the ground. And I want you to start to send your roots down to the center of the earth. And we're going to do it a little faster, but what time is it? You do, you have your phone. Okay, good, yeah, perfect. Perfect in time for lunch because I'm going to give you an experiment. All right, so sending your roots down to the center of the earth. Long golden cords just to anchor you down there. And just taking a deep breath in, breathe in. And breathe out. Good, breathing in and then breathing out. Good, and now, right now, I want you to bring your shoulders back. Bringing your shoulders back, and I don't know if you know this, but we all have wings. Those shoulder blades, those scapulars are also known as wings, even in the anatomy books. So bring your wings back. That's right. Bring those wings back, because I want you to start to free them as we're talking. So now I want you to send your antenna all the way up to the heavens. Sending your antenna up to the heavens, connecting it. That's right, connecting it all the way up to the heavens, so you're connected through your body and all the way down to the center of the earth. Mother, Father, God, we ask just now that we be filled, surrounded, that we be protected with light, with love, that we be allowed to be present with our divine angelic beings, with those who have come here to be with us, those who have come to show us the way, those who are with us. that we can feel their presence, we invite them into this room with us. And imagining right now that your body is beginning to expand and feeling the presence of divine beings right behind you, feeling your guardian angel coming into the presence right behind you. And as you are beginning to feel this energy running through your body, bringing your wings back, those wings back, and now feeling the divine beings starting to take those feathers from your back, starting to help unwind your spine, feeling them behind you, and pulling out each feather one by one, oiling it, fluffing it up, taking away lifetimes of grime, lifetimes of darkness, lifetimes of fear, of times when they've had to be closed out, and feel them expanding into the universe, expanding whole into the universe. And as you're feeling this presence and feeling those wings of yours expanding, note what color they are. Are they iridescent or golden or shimmering? And now you're invited to just take a peek at what you're wearing and notice that your clothes have shifted to these divine, shimmering, luminescent, golden, indescribable fabrics that breathe with you. And your feet are in cloth with silver, shining slippers that have wings on them, and you could feel yourself delicately being transported off to those heavenly realms. Down in the distance, I want you to see that there is a crystalline golden structure, a temple, a portal, calling you. And as you come there, lined up alongside of you are family, departed loved ones, our angels, departed pets that are calling and saying, welcome. And you find yourself in the heavenly realms. So familiar, so familiar. And there in the center is a beautiful table. A table that is being held up by these divine beings. And there is a goblet. And this goblet is filled with a fluid, a golden fluid, and it is being held up to you for you to drink of this fluid of life, this elixir of life. And as you drink of it, know that it is the celestial energies, the wisdoms now being downloaded through your body. It is healing every cell, every pore, every tissue. It is wiping away anything that is less than the frequency of love, less than the frequency of this place. It is rejuvenating you. It is reawakening you. It is reminding you. And on this table next to it is a beautiful treasure chest. A treasure chest that you get to open. And as you open the treasure chest, it's a beautiful chest. Inside is a gift just for you. It may be a stone, a message, a thought, a feeling. But you are invited to take this as a gift from Spirit for you to take back. A reminder of who you are. And feeling those wings of yours, you are being reminded that at any time you could sit and bring your wings back and ask for the help of your angels to help you clear those wings. And you can be present in that body no matter where you are at any time. And you are always protected when you have your power on in that way. So Mother, Father, God, we are so grateful that you have joined us now. And as we start to come back to who we are, and our feet start to come back to our feet, and our clothes, and our three-dimensional body down there, just remembering who we are and the messages and what it felt like to have that frequency of the angelic beings. And so it is. Whew. So I call that wing fluffing. Who liked that wing fluffing? All right. Neil asked me to fluff everyone's wings before we began, and that is definitely what we're doing. So guys, I learned long ago that if I appear out in the world and my wings are not fluffed, I look like a very sad person pretending to be Joan of Angels, okay? And when my wings are not fluffed, if you come up to me and you say, well, what's your name? And I'm at an event, I might go, well, I'm kind of like Joan of Angels, okay? Now, I don't know how many of you do that to yourself, but once you've had your wings fluffed, and once you get it, you will not be able to defluff them. We were defluffed lifetimes, guys, because it wasn't safe to be an angel here on this planet. I know many of you are undercover angels, but it wasn't safe to be us. Come on, think about all the witches and all of that. We all went through that, all of you, okay? But this lifetime, my guides promised me this. They said, if you come out and you talk about Joan of Arc, we promise you you will not die in a fire, burned at the stake, this lifetime, okay? They promised me that. So I'm here to tell you this. It's safe to come out as an angel. And it's safe to come out as you and as you and as you and as you. And all we have to do is let go of everything that doesn't serve as we remember. You got that? So that's what all this art is about, guys. I didn't even get to talk to you. There's Mother Mary. This one is the Angelic Council. This is where we go. These are the beings that are trying to work through you and with you, okay? And this one I was told was going to be in a museum one day talking about the spirituality of this age. George Norrie has one, if you know who he is, called Contact. And isn't it interesting? It's a ship with angelic beings, all right? A ship with angelic beings. So angelic beings, star beings, that's who we are. This one reminds me of a person I just met this weekend. I call him the Master because he helps take you into these other realms. And when you let go of your 3D vision and you let it expand, this is who we all are, kind of twinkling figures into the light. Oh yes, so Tricia says, who is this? This represents ascension, ascension into these other realms. The beings that, just to get to the doorway, guys, just to get here, I just have to tell you something. You have cleared so much karma just to be in the room, to be at even the foot of this, of the divinity that's in the art. The art manifests and holds the energy of divine beings. When you're close to it, when you wear it, that's why I make the scarves. When you have them in your home, you feel their energy. This is the process of each of the levels that we let go of and that we learn how to master. You know, you just can't say, Om, and then go out and yell at your wife. You know, you have to clear your energy always. And this is how we do ascend. These are the beings that are helping us through to clear the spiritual warriors, the fierceness that it takes to reach up here. This one is my Krishna baby, and I have him on one of these prints out in the other room. All the art is yours. This one, just so you know, is Celestial Mission, and I honestly don't know how it happened because I took some of my art and I digitized it, and what happened is like this dragon being is in it. I didn't like put it in, so I have to tell you about my art. Most of the time, I'll start by closing my eyes and I'll ask Spirit to come through me. And I'm like a paintbrush. I've been known to paint with my eyes closed. I've even been known to paint with it upside down, all right? It's just a matter of I'm following like some guidance. In fact, I got yelled at once by one of my paintings because she wanted a nose ring, and I said, I don't do nose rings. Well, of course I do now, okay? But to have your guide come to you and chat, remind you, okay, you are to paint me as I am, not as you want me to be, Okay? This is celestial mission. I have this on a scarf. Why? It protects you wherever you go. It reminds you of your journey, of who you are. All right? These human clothes have a lower frequency, just by the way, and when you come to my booth, I'll show you. So we wear clothes that are everyone else wears, you know, and they have the frequency of the 3D. But when you wear some of the goddess wear, or Joan's celestial wear, or the goddess wear, you're raising your vibrational frequency to the heavenly realms. Does that make sense? Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I know it's lunchtime. I just want to say a few words. Thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, from down there on the 3D world, from all the way up in the heavenly realms, there's a joy going out that more and more people are hearing the song of the consciousness, that are moving into spirit, that are here for love, for service, for sharing our gifts, your specialness. So I invite each of you to start being the miracle that you are, to start to fluff those wings. So here's the experiment. As we leave, you're going to stand up and start to fluff your wings. We're going to all walk out when we leave with our wings fluffed. You game? Good. You can reach me at joanofangels.com, www.joanofangels.com. I really make it easy, right? joanofangels.com, so I don't forget. I'm out there in my booth. Please come talk to me. If any of the art engages you, you are to let us know. Oh yeah, I forgot to even tell you about the oracle cards. Oracle cards, these are the masters of miracles. They came to me to be on my cards. And so, picking a card for all of you, the Sacred Kingdom. Master teachers, that's this weekend, are giving you the keys. And you all have wisdom to share. So come by and pull a card for yourself and get a deck too. All right. That's it. Oh yeah, and I teach you how to turn on that power of yours so that you can do this ascension work, so that you can go through these realms and become the master that you are, because that's why you're here, okay? You got it? You got it. All right, good. Now, all right, so in order to do it, stand up, bring your wings back, roots to the earth, to the heavens, fluff the wings back, imagine your angels are with you, they're helping you, it's very heavy, and go. And you walk differently with wings, guys. You walk differently. I don't know about you, I do. All right, I love you all.